welcome to another video in my series of videos where I try to beat a Pokemon game with just a Weedle called Bongzilla. And today he will be taking on his first ever ROM hack, Pokemon Emerald Kaizo. A ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald that's essentially Pokemon Dark Souls. I can sum it up like this: the floor is fire, the grass is fire, the fire is fire, and your mum, I'm sad to say, she's fire too.
I am sorry, but your mother has contracted.
I tell you what, whoever made this game is a sick person who needs to be locked up in the cuckoo's nest. Every single battle in this game is a life or death scuffle where you could easily get mullered to death by a Magikarp that has bounce for some reason. And needless to say, you're restricted from using any items in battle, and practically every Pokemon you fight will have a beast moveset and some form of healing to ruin your day.
Hello there, Fraser.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
And I know we won't be able to get very far in this fetid hellscape, but I want to try it to see how far we can push it. Because I hate myself, clearly. So without further ado, let's for a laugh see how far we can get with just a Weedle in Pokemon Emerald Kaizo.
It's all for you!
And this unholy abomination starts like your average Gen 3 game. You get the hippie Abe Lincoln talking at you for 10 years about vegan smoothies, then you materialise in the back of a moving truck heading to your new home in Little Root Town. After setting the time and meeting our rival May, who has a commendable amount of, fan art, we then head to save her father from a tiny cute raccoon. May, I think I need to sing a certain Disney song to this bloke. Just saying. And I of course picked the internet darling Mudkip to be my temporary starter until we pick up a Weedle. But this first battle with the Zigzagoon really gave me a preview for what this game has in store for me. She had Swift, a healing item, and she also sand attacked me into oblivion.
Stop! You violated the law!
But we still beat it with ease, saving the good doctor from the raging terror. And he takes us back to his lab where he gives us the Mudkip that I christened Top Lad for obvious reasons. And this leads to our first battle with May, which Top Lad takes care of with the grace of an Italian near a penalty box. And with all the pomp and circumstance taken care of, we can go catch ourselves a Weedle in the very first route of this game. But we don't want any old Weedle, we want a Weedle with the nature adamant. Because as with every Bongzilla run, we need all the attack that we can get. And as usual, this process takes a while, but after an hour or so of catching Weedles, we end up with a male Weedle with the right nature. So let's start this run proper with the first trainer battle of this game, youngster Calvin, who opens up with a Sentret that doesn't really cause Bongzilla any trouble. But his next Pokemon, the dreaded Zigzagoon, is another story, because he buggers up our health so much that his last Pokemon, Puccina, kills us with one bite. And trust me, this death by 1,000 cuts is going to be a common theme throughout this video. I decided to level up once and then give him another go. This time the Sentret and the Zigzagoon kept buggering me over with sand attacks, but with a bit of perseverance I managed to scrape through this battle with a gnat's erection of health left. And the next hurdle is the second trainer of this run, Bugcatcher Rick. Never thought I'd hear myself saying that. His first Pokemon is the most vile and disgusting Pokemon in existence, Caterpie, who of course causes us no trouble because Caterpie is a weak-ass joke who belongs locked up with the other criminals. Stupid crawling hate crime. Sorry about that. And his next Pokemon is a red pale imitation of a Buglord who also causes us no issues. And the next Pokemon, Kakuna, is a bit of a roadblock, which obviously makes sense because he's related to Weedle, which instantly makes him more powerful. And what makes him so formidable is his constant use of Iron Defense, which is like Harden on steroids. But he also has a healing item that gets him back to full health after I spent a ludicrous amount of time wearing him down. And after a drawn out battle of poison stings, Weedle comes out on top with 1 health point remaining. Even with the slight boost of 3 HP from the level up, we are in no condition to be beating his last Pokemon, Cascoon, who beats us handily. So I buggered off to get up a few levels and I move wasted into struggle so I could take out these jammy gits with ease. And this simple strategy worked and we wreck our way for our fellow Bug Boys squad. It's only going to get worse from here. Thankfully the remaining trainers on this route gave us nowhere near as much trouble and we're now in Petalburg City, where we go visit our dad who ropes us into helping Wally catch his dildo-headed anime waifu. And we then head to the beach of Route 104 where I discover you cannot avoid any battles in this ROM hack, and I end up in a battle with Birdkeeper Billy, who surprisingly barely beats us out with his last Pokemon. So I went and had a quick level grind and came back to beat him at level 20. And what happened with this next trainer shook me to the very core. He had a Magikarp with bounce, and it almost killed the Buglord.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
That was honestly the most terrifying thing I've ever endured. And it was at this point I found out that all the Zigzagoons in this game were holding the healing item Berry Juice, which heals 20 HP, which isn't exactly amazing but it's better than nothing. So I got ready for a struggle session with some berry juice in hand and we cleared this sea-bound terror. I think I'm going to be using a lot of berry juice in this video. After struggling my way through half of the forest, we encountered a Devon employee who's been hassled by a member of Team Magma. And I couldn't get past this bastard's coffin after the rest of the Pokemon chipped away at Weedle's health. So I went away and got up to level 30 and then I came back and smashed this Team Magma grunt into the floor. Following that, there wasn't many battles worth going over, but it is worth noting that I made a major mistake here. I started to waste my cherry berries nonchalantly. This will come back to bite me in the arse later on. And further up the path we run into the legendary hero of Myth, Red, who we easily defeat. But oh, don't you worry, he'll be back for revenge later on.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
And with that gauntlet out of the way, we finally arrive in Rustboro City, home of the first gym leader Roxanne, who's about to cause us some major trauma. But before that torment, we have another spectre in our way, school kid Josh, with his diabolical Geodude. Basically, no matter what I do, this absolute bellend uses self-destruct, killing us in one shot. So we really need to take him out with one hit before he can kill us with self-destruct. So it is time for the first big grind session of this video. So after 11 hours of level grinding, I was at level 55 and I finally managed to take down the Geodude with a lucky crit. And then I laid the smackdown on the rest of this kid's squad. I did do attempts within those 11 hours, but I just kept failing and I never got the bloody crit I needed until that win you saw, which is very irritating. But oh well, we needed the levels for Roxanne anyway, as you will see. Thankfully at our current level, no one else in the gym even challenges our buggy hero, and we now come up against the first gym leader Roxanne, and here's her squad. I don't even need to say anything about this. Take it away, Jontron.
Scud. That's good shit right there. I'm gonna need every last drop of this.
And Roxanne's first Pokemon is Nosepass, who was a bit of a challenge because every time it started off by using Thunder Wave on our buggy king. And this is a problem because being able to hit first is really key for us in this battle. But other than that, she also has self-destruct that doles out a lot of damage and leaves us hobbled for the rest of Roxanne's squad. Sure, we can still pretty easily get past her next Pokemon, Lily, that only seems to pelt us with ancient powers as we murder it. But however, the next Pokemon up, Lunatone, is pretty much the death sentence for us at this current level. I did do attempts where I gave Bongzilla a Cherry Berry to stop the paralysis from Nosepass, but because Nosepass has a Citrus Berry, we can't kill it before it gets off a second Thunder Wave, which still pretty much leaves us in the same predicament. So I headed off once more to level grind like a maniac. After 5 hours of level grinding, I found myself at level 65, and this really did make a big difference. With our added attack power, we can easily slice through her first 3 Pokemon, taking only minimal damage. And we actually get to see the 4th member of her squad, Anorith, who is absolutely destroyed by our over-leveled struggle. But her next Pokemon, Relicanth, is a different story. He's far too bulky for us to take out in one hit, which is a problem because this fucker keeps putting us to sleep with Yawn, which allows him to chip away at our health. With great difficulty, Bongzilla manages to get the job done, leaving us up against her last Pokemon, the mighty Shuckle, who we luckily managed to kill with a tiny amount of health left. And with that, we have beaten the first gym. Only took us 35 hours.
Thank God for my reefer, man. This shit good.
Well, with that first big hurdle out of the way, we get into the usual rhythm of Pokemon Emerald. We helped the Devon employee again, and we also saved the bird fucker Mr. Briney's Pokemon wife from the evil clutches of Team Ailstorm. But before we can leave town, we have a battle with May to take care of, and it was easy, so it's not worth going over. So now we can set sail for Dewford, where the fighting type gym leader Brawley awaits us. As soon as we make port, I headed into the gym and cleared it all out with no trouble. But before we take on Brawley, I want to go on a quick tangent. While I was move wasting for this battle, I just so happened to get a shiny Nidoran female, which funnily enough looks like a Nidoran male. This is honestly the first time I've ever got a shiny in one of my Weedle videos. Very awesome. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I called it E-Girl. She'll be throwing cats over her head in no time. But anyway, let's show this lad the power of the Bug Boy. And here's his squad. This shower of bastards actually gave me more trouble than I was expecting. And a lot of this trouble stems from his first Pokemon, Hitmontop, who just so happens to have the ability Intimidate, which just really messes with Weedle's one-shot kill power. But regardless, we can kill Hitmontop pretty easily. And the same goes for his next Pokemon, Meditite, who Bongzilla easily destroys with his struggle. And again, the same fate awaits the next Pokemon up, Hitmonlee, who Weedle kills in one shot as well. But unluckily for us, the one-hit train is ended by the next Pokemon, Hitmonchan, who not only survives the struggle but does a decent amount of damage with a rock slide. And then there's Hariyama, who's also bulky enough to survive a hit and is also armed with rock slide, further chipping away at Bongzilla. By the skin of our teeth we do manage to get the kill on Hariyama, but there's still one more to go. And that Pokemon is Poliwrath. And as you may guess, we are killed in the process of using our first struggle on him. Well, it's back to the grind, I suppose.
Either way, you're gonna beat this snooze fest in just 4 hours or less.
With Bongzilla at level 75, I returned to take on Brawley. And this time it went a lot better with us handily carving our way through his squad. That was certainly a lot less of a pain in the arse than the first gym. And it was after this battle that I discovered this ROM hack didn't just make the battles harder, it put in hard puzzles as well. Deep within the granite cave, they've added a ice floor puzzle.
I'm the Iceman. It's because I deal with ice and ice-related activities.
And it might possibly be the hardest ice floor puzzle I've ever encountered. Anyone who's watched my videos before will know I hate ice floor puzzles in the Pokemon games, so this is my own brand of hell. But once I cleared this, there was actually a pretty easy way to accidentally jump down a ledge, which means you have to do the bloody ice floor puzzle again. Whoever made this game is an evil genius and I hate them. And when I actually go the right way, we can deliver the letter to Steven and we can be on our merry way out of this hellhole. We jump aboard the boat and we head off to Slateport City, where Ailstorm are up to their usual antics invading the museum. And here I noticed something. When Maxie enters, he calls his underlings simps.
Look, you're a simp.
I don't remember that from the original. That's gotta be something the ROM hacker changed. Someone in the comments go investigate this for me because I'm too lazy to do it myself. But thankfully these lads don't cause us any trouble and we can start walking to Malville City. And on the way we have another battle with May that again is not worth going over. Sorry May, you suck. Upon arriving in Malville, I go take on Wally with his dildo-headed Rolts. That for some reason is now at a ludicrously high level, but it does not cause any issues for our bug saviour. And it was here that I decided it was time to take it to the max.
Max Power, he's the man whose name you'd love to touch.
Well, I knew I was going to have to do it at some point, might as well do it now I guess. So with Weedle at a swole level 100, I went to take on Wattson. And here's his squad. Just so you know, these lads have a lot of fire moves for some fucking reason. Wattson's first Pokemon was a Jolteon who thankfully Bongzilla was able to take down in one shot. But Jolteon does have a slight chance of paralysing us in the process, which is quite annoying. And the next Pokemon up is Ampharos, who's where all the trouble starts in this battle. Mainly because if I'm paralysis free at this point, it will get me with it. But add Fire Punch into that and you've got a real problem on your hands. Sure, we can reliably get past the Ampharos, but the damage done against us allows the next Pokemon, Electabuzz, to get the kill on us. However, if I get a crit on the Ampharos, I can push it past the Electabuzz and get to the next Pokemon, Manectric, who has Intimidate, because of course it does. But it also has Flamethrower, because God hates me for some reason. And if I'm not paralysed by this point, Manectric will see to that with its Thunder Wave. Sure, I could put a Cherry Berry on, but as I said earlier, I'm an idiot and I wasted all of those earlier, so there's no way for me to get more. With that said, if I get lucky on the Ampharos, I can pretty reliably get past this Manectric, but with paralysis and barely any health. Which brings us to Lantern, who's a big fucking hurdle for this run. It's far too bulky for us to even dream of finishing off with the feeble amount of health we have remaining. And no matter what we do, this thing gets the kill on poor Bongzilla. But I'm not giving up here because I know I could do this if I had a Cherry Berry that I foolishly wasted earlier. So I restarted the game, got another Weedle with Adamant, leveled him up to level 100 and made sure I kept an ample supply of Cherry Berries. This second Bongzilla had wildly differing stats to the first one with way more health and defense but a lot less attack. But I think I can still manage it. And with the help of the Cherry Berry I can actually get up to Wattson's last Pokemon, Raichu, who does kill me on my first attempt. But with a big bit of luck on the Lantern with a crit that one-shots it, I can kill the Raichu with a decent amount of health remaining. Well, that was intense. I don't think we're getting much further than this though. But either way, let's head out and find out where the final roadblock of this run will be. After working my way to the outskirts of Falaba Town, we come across Red once more.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which suggestions or warnings about events to come are dropped or planted.
And here's his squad. Well, this is going to be hard as shit. Luckily for us, Red's first Pokemon, Pikachu, is very easy to take down in one shot by Bongzilla. And then Red sends out Espeon, who I do manage to get through with a lucky critical hit. But his next Pokemon, Blastoise, isn't such an easy kill. It's armed with Yawn, which is of course very annoying. And it doesn't help that it also packs a hell of a punch with its Surf. And adding to the fact that it's bulky as shit and we have a very formidable foe on our hands. However, with some luck, he's definitely not unbeatable, but the damage we sustain leaves us ready for death from his next Pokemon, Charizard. No matter what I do, I always die. So that's it. That's the run. I mean, we got about as far as I expected, and I hope it was a fun video for you lot because it was hell for me. It's actually pretty fitting that this run ended on red. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see me try this again with Beedrill, because I honestly want to try it out for fun. And if you guys are game, I'll definitely get on it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.